As the Trump administration freezes federal funding for agencies across the country, some local nonprofits are being forced to change how they help those in need. One food bank in central Pennsylvania is pausing one of its programs due to the uncertainty. Newswatch 16's Mackenzie Aucker spoke with Central Pennsylvania Food Bank's CEO about what this means for the people they serve.
As grocery prices continue to rise, area food banks are seeing more people looking for help putting food on the table. Many of those food banks rely on federal funding, like the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank. Joe Arthur is the CEO for the food bank. He tells us they rely on the Local Food Purchasing Act to get fresh food,
which is some of the funding we can use to acquire excellent food from Pennsylvania farmers, so local farmers, eggs, milk, meats, all of the things that are really high priority in our mission that people need the most.
Last month, President Trump ordered a funding freeze to ensure all funding complies with his executive orders that targeted diversity, equity, and inclusion and climate change. The possible freeze on federal grants and loans could affect aid to small businesses, state and local government, and nonprofit organizations, causing confusion for agencies across the country.
That funding that's at risk right now under LFPA, as we call it, is substantial. We will continue to do our work and use our other sources, but it's a substantial impact for us.
The food bank also receives money through the Pennsylvania Agriculture Surplus System, but some of that funding comes from the federal government. And Arthur tells us they don't know if that program will be funded after March 31st. So the food bank is pausing the Agriculture Acquisition Program, which allows them to buy milk, eggs, and meat from farmers at a discounted price.
It really impacts thousands of our neighbors that are facing hunger because that's how many we serve each and every week in our network. So this is broad-based. We use that farm food as part of our overall food supply, if you will. So it impacts essentially thousands of our neighbors each week.
The Central Pennsylvania Food Bank is looking towards Harrisburg to offset the federal funding freeze. In Governor Shapiro's proposed budget, he has set aside $4 million for food programs.
We're going to continue to watch at the federal and state level all of these big, important budget discussions, and just hoping that those conversations are thoughtful, and we think about people that are facing hunger and think about our farm sector as well.
In addition to state and federal funding, the food bank also relies on donations from people in the community, which Arthur says will be even more important in the coming months. Mackenzie Aucker, Newswatch 16, Lycoming County.